Let's do some quick, depressing math. SlimFast in the 90s, cabbage soup at some point in the early 2000s. Don't pretend you didn't. Atkins, when it came back around and was renamed, Weight Watcher points more than once, possibly more than 3 times. Some app that made you photograph every single almond that you ate. Add it all up, every program, every shake, every point system you've paid for since your 20s. Now ask yourself honestly, how many of them are you still doing right now? Yep, that's the problem. And I promise you, it's not the one you think it is. I'm Debbie, a holistic nutritionist for over 15 years. And what that means is that I look at the whole person, body, mind, and spirit. And today we're going to talk about why the programs you've bought over the years didn't work long term, because I guarantee you it wasn't because you didn't try hard enough. It's because most of them were built to fail from day one, and nobody tells you that part. Let's actually get into it. Here's the thing almost nobody in this industry says out loud. Most weight loss programs are built around restriction, and restriction has an expiry date built right into it. It doesn't matter if it's cutting carbs, cutting calories down or way down, cutting an entire food group because some influencer decided that bread is the enemy this year. The body and brain can only run on deprivation for so long before something gives. That's not a discipline problem. That's biology doing exactly what it was designed to do. Think about it this way. Your body doesn't know the difference between I'm doing a calorie deficit for aesthetic purposes and holy shit, there's a famine going on. It just knows food is scarce, so it adjusts. Hunger hormones go up, metabolism quietly slows down to protect you. Your brain starts thinking about food more, not less, because that's what a well-functioning survival system does when it thinks you're in trouble. None of that's a character flaw. It's just what bodies do. That's why when the program stops working after 8 weeks or 12 weeks or whatever the magic number was on the box, and you go back to your old habits, that's not you failing the program. That's the program structure guaranteeing it would eventually fail you. It was rigged from the start, and you paid for the privilege. I want to be really direct about this one because I think it's the thing that does the most damage. So many of us have walked away from a program that didn't work and quietly decided it meant something about our willpower, discipline, and our ability to stick with anything. That's such a load of bullshit, and it's not even the interesting kind. Willpower is a finite resource every single day for every single human being. It's not a personality trait some people have more of, like being tall or having naturally good hair. If a program requires you white-knuckling your way through the hunger and cravings for months on end, it was never testing your willpower. It was just going to win eventually, because that's how willpower works for literally everyone, including the influencer selling you the program. And can we talk about the timing of all this for a second? A lot of us hit our 40s and 50s, and suddenly the old tricks that we were trying have just stopped working the way that they were supposed to, or that they used to. Perimenopause and menopause and andropause shifts things. Appetite, sleep, where your body wants to store fat, how your joints feel the morning after just eating dinner a little later than usual. That's not you getting lazier. That's an actual hormonal and metabolic shift happening in real time. And most of these programs were never built with a 50-year-old's body in mind. They were built for someone in their 20s with an entirely different set of circumstances than just handed it to the rest of us with smaller portion size and a pep talk. So everyone in this industry throws around the word sustainable. Let me actually define it instead of just using it as a buzzword on a supplement label. Sustainable means you could keep doing it in 5 years without feeling like you're gritting your teeth through it. That's the whole test. If you can't picture yourself still eating that way at a family dinner, a holiday, random Tuesday, 5 years from now, it's not sustainable. It's just a longer version of the same restriction cycling, but with better branding. Real lasting change tends to come from smaller shifts that don't require a constant force of will. It's not a cop-out, that's just how behavior actually changes for adults with real lives. Okay, let's get concrete, because I could talk in circles about sustainable habits forever, and it wouldn't help you make dinner tonight. Instead of a shake replacing a meal, you're building an actual plate. Something like a palm-sized portion of protein, chickpeas, lentils, tofu, eggs, whatever you actually eat. Half of the plate is a serving of vegetables, and then a serving of a whole food carb like brown rice or sweet potato. Add in a source of fat like avocado or olive oil, something like that, and that's it. That's the program. No 30-day countdown, no shake in a can that costs $12 and tastes like chalk with ambition. Instead of cutting out carbs entirely and white knuckling it through a dinner party while everyone else eats bread, you're swapping refined, ultra-processed carbs for whole ones most of the time. White bread becomes sourdough or a whole grain loaf. Instant flavored oatmeal packages loaded with sugar and God knows what other shit becomes actual oats with fruits and cinnamon and nuts and seeds. Chips at 3 p.m. because you're starving and didn't eat enough at lunch becomes a handful of nuts and an apple because you actually planned lunch to have some protein in it. Instead of detoxing with some green juice cleanse that leaves you lightheaded and cranky by 2 p.m., you're eating more fiber, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and drinking enough water because your liver and kidneys are already doing the detoxing. They just need you to stop working against them. And instead of treating every social event like a threat to your progress, eat the damn birthday cake, one piece, and enjoy it. And the next meal you go back to just doing what you've been doing all along. No starting over on Monday, no spiral. That's the actual difference between a program with an expiry date and something built to last 5 years and beyond. Here's what I look for going forward, my program included. I'll say that outright. Here's what I'd actually look for. Does it ask you to cut out entire food groups indefinitely, with the exception of ultra-processed foods, which I've done many videos about? Or does it teach you how to build a plate that works for your actual life? Does it have an end date after which you're supposed to go back to normal eating? Or is it teaching you what normal eating actually looks like going forward? Does it account for real life, holiday, stress, bad weeks, your kid's wedding? The fact that some weeks you're just surviving, or does one bad day mean you have to start over from zero? Those questions will tell you more than any before and after photo ever will. And for what it's worth, I don't have before and after photos to show you anyway, so we're not even going there. If you've got a graveyard full of programs behind you, the shakes, the points, the cabbage soup, all of it, I need you to actually let go of the story that it was your fault. Most of them were built on restriction with an expiry date, and restriction was always going to run out eventually. That was true for every single person who's ever tried them, not just you. And that's why the diet industry is a billion-dollar industry. The fix isn't finding more willpower, it's finding something that's built around actual food on an actual plate that you could still be doing in 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 years without gritting your teeth. So if you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more No BS Nutrition, and I'll see you in the next one.